Lung cancer is the #1 cause of cancer death in the U.S., both from women and men. But a new artificial intelligence tool is changing how doctors can spot who's at risk even before cancer appears on a scan. Ivan Rodriguez has more on the technology giving doctors a window into the future.
Doctors have long relied on smoking history to decide who gets screened for lung cancer, but here's the problem. More than half of people diagnosed with the disease every year wouldn't have qualified for that screening at all. Now researchers at Mass General Brigham Cancer Institute and MIT are using AI to try to change that. Standard lung cancer screening exists through a low-dose CT scan, but only about 20% of people who are eligible for screening actually get checked. While some organizations have since expanded their guidelines, until 2022, standard guidelines say CT scans are warranted only for people ages 50 to 80 who have smoked heavily and either still smoke or quit less than 15 years ago.
Half of people diagnosed with lung cancer in the U.S. every year would not have met the criteria for screening.
Doctors at Mass General Brigham Cancer Institute are working to close that gap. Working with engineers at MIT, they developed an AI tool called Sybil, which can analyze a single CT scan and generate a risk score, predicting the likelihood of a person developing lung cancer over any period up to 6 years. In 2023, its developers reported that Sybil was between 86 and 94% accurate in telling which patients were at high risk and which were at low risk of developing cancer within a year.
What Sybil is doing is something that the radiologist can't do, which is try and predict what's going to happen a year from now, 2 years from now, that may not be on the image today.
Sybil works through pattern recognition, trained on tens of thousands of scans to find biological signals invisible to the human eye.
If someone has a CAT scan today and Sybil gives it a high risk score, what does that mean for the person? Should we be treating them in a different way now to mitigate their risk, to lower the chances of this happening to them in the future? We don't know if it will work in that way, but that's what we're hoping.
Sybil isn't approved for routine clinical use outside of trials, but it is being used in research projects at about a dozen U.S. hospitals and in more than 30 countries around the world. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Early detection of lung cancer drastically improves survival rates. Some studies show up to 90% of patients with stage 1 lung cancer survive up to 20 years after they are diagnosed.